as well. They just got back from the States from that event as well. The scores, are we going to be publishing the scores online? Do we have somewhere for the people to see them as they come through? Obviously,
yes,
we don't have any yet.
Well, I believe if you go to scores.weembi.com,
Yeah.
then that's where the scores are,
Scores.
or that's where they will be.
Weembi.com. Obviously, the judges are going through those 8-way rounds right now, and as soon as we've got any scores for you, we'll be giving you the results on that. We're still waiting for the start of the 2-way dynamic. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with that action as soon as it's ready. We'll see you then. And a very good evening. Welcome to France and Weembi here in Lille in northwest France. This is the French Indoor Championships 2018 with me, Regan Tetlow, and Leslie Gale. This evening we've been on air for just coming up on an hour. We started off with the first round of the 8-way. We're very shortly going into the first round of the 2-way dynamic. Leslie.
Yeah, we've got 10 teams in the 2-way dynamic. Very exciting. Not all French teams. Again, we have some guest teams practicing the warm-up for VOS European Indoor Championships in a month. And dynamic is very, very exciting. It's with the 8-way, the 4-way, you can more or less call it.
Yeah.
You know, people can have a bad round or a good round, but it doesn't really go so different. But with the speed round, you get a bust, 5-second penalty, anything can happen.
Well,
we're just looking. Team Aerocart to 202 are about to get in the tunnel. What is the puzzle? You told me earlier.
We have got, let's get that back on screen now as they start. We've got head up, switch, head up 360 and mixed circles, 3 pages. Here we go, Aerocart starting us off, Ord and Julien. Been together 4 months, Leslie.
But 16 hours of tunnel together. And these guys are going for it. They're seated last, but they want to be on the podium. That's what they said their goal is.
We're trying to get the timer on the screen for you, ladies and gentlemen. If we can get the timer, oh, there's one bust. Let's see if we can get the clock on the screen so we can see the time of what they're doing.
I think we're going to get the timer at the end. Because of course it's all down to just who is the fastest team. If they don't do a clean round, if their body passes through that circle showing that they haven't done the required move, then they're going to get a bust of 5 seconds.
And they're coached by Omar Sander. And down in the aero kart, which I flew in a couple of weeks ago. Very different style of tunnel, Leslie.
Oh, isn't it? It's one of those almost open air, open-sided.
Well, it was
revolutionary in its time, but yeah. They've got a sort of trampoline net up the side. And they're out.
So we'll try and bring you that time as soon as we can. A slight technical problem right now with the timer.
It looks as though it's 1:59, or is that just
no? That's the amount of time allocated for each team. So as soon as we get the times, we'll feed them through to you and the results. In the meantime, we're going into the second team here tonight, Aero Gravity.
And Aero Gravity, Mika Mello and Dennis Castioni. These guys have been together for a month. They have all of 3 jumps together, but 10 hours.
3 skydives, have they?
Yep. Their home tunnel is Aero Gravity, which I guess you could have guessed from the name, from Milan. And it's their first competition. They're coached by the famous Gizmo and of course Leo.
Well,
they're in.
Aero Gravity now second of the two-way dynamic teams here tonight in the first round of the French Indoor Championships 2018. Still trying to bring you the time, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get that to you as soon as we can. Keep your eyes on those lights. A red light is a 5-second penalty.
And they're flying strong, they're flying clean, and they look fast.
Frenchman and the Italian.
Going nice, big lines. Make sure that they're not going to bust.
You've been watching two-way dynamic now for a few years, Leslie, with a few of the events we've done in the past. Do you enjoy it?
I think it's really, really exciting. The solo speed was very exciting at Win Games as well. Just one single, who is the fastest person in the world.
So very good evening to everybody watching all the different tunnels that I'm sure are tuned in now to cheer on their individual teams. Give us a shout out online on the live feed.
So all the Italians there, are you cheering on Aero Gravity?
And out the door.
They're out, and they're out.
I think it was a clean round as well.
Well, that clock said 34 seconds. I might guess they did 1:26 on that if they started at 2 minutes.
I don't know. I wouldn't like to guess. We need to get that timer. We need to know the fractions of the seconds. That's what it's all down to. When we get to these top teams, there's going to be
the lasers start the end, the beginning and the end.
Tenths of a seconds between them. Once we get down to the top teams, Ice Mountain next with Omar and going to be. Clement. Yeah, they're setting themselves. Have we got the timer? No, we still can't see it.
So these guys have 60 hours together, 6-0.
And they're in. Already looking fast, already looking sharp. As well, the first time I've seen a two-way dynamic competition in a tunnel of this size. A lot of the teams we've seen in the past in the other events, smashing off the walls, pushing off the walls. Oh, we've got a timer, there we go.
Oh, we love you guys.
Well done, technical guys there. So 3 pages is what we're looking for. And the draw is head up switch, head up 360 and mixed circles. Still looking clean, I've not seen any penalties yet, have you?
Oh, don't say that, Regan. They're just going to bust if you say that. They're really, really tied together. They've been head to head the last couple of days with the ninjas. Been watching their
their battles. Ninjas are seeming quite confident as well. I was interviewing Elliot this morning. He feels like he's got it. He feels like they're going to get this, but again, nothing is guaranteed until the end of the competition. Ice Mountain, Adventure Park out the door on. Oh, we lost the time.
Oh, and we lost the timer.
The timer went off screen just before we could reach
70.948.
70.948. All right, so here we go. We've now got something to judge
For the
from.
other guys to be.
70.948.
Well, they looked well the fastest, so I mean, I'm sticking my neck out here, but I didn't think those other two teams would have outscored that. That was clean, it was fast.
You would expect Ice Mountain to be up there at the top, in the top three for sure. Weembi next up, then Women of Steel, then Way Too Dynamic, then the Ninjas, then Weembi All Right, and then the Avengers Paris. Still to come here in this first round of two-way dynamic. Woo, exciting stuff. It's a full house here in the tunnel. With a lot of the four-way teams are sticking around, even though they're not flying until tomorrow, but they're watching the action. If you just tuned in around the world, very good evening to you and welcome to this first ever big event for me here in Weembi. Leslie, you were here last year. A bit of a different setup you had. No studio as such.
No studio, no technical backup. Yeah, last year I just stood.
Just you and an iPhone, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Me and Lisa's iPhone and a Mevo camera. Yeah, it's nice to be here with all the proper tools, having the scoreboard available.
Proper tools.
Yeah, but I'm not calling you a tool.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
We can see that off camera.
We've got the Epic Tech guys here that do a great job in production. They also do the Body Flight World Challenge, where we'll be in a few weeks' time.
I believe they did the BPA's
They did the
AGM.
BPA AGM as well.
Yeah, big shout out to Ali and our two Georges back screen who are looking after us and keeping us sharp on screen. It's good to have them backing us up. Great that we've got the timing now. We just joined us. We've had one round of 8-way already. We've had 4 teams of two-way dynamic. We're going to be here for 3 rounds in total tonight. Should take us till around 9:20, 21:20 in the evening. And then we're going to be back bright and early tomorrow morning with the first round of the 4-way. We were talking a little bit about that earlier. Tell me about the categories. Is it 2 categories we have?
Yes, we've got N1 and N2, which is virtually that's AAA and AA,
right.
You could say. So I believe they're going to, they do a different draw and they have a different dive pool because the N2, which is the same as AA, they won't do the blocks at swap.
Right.
So it'll be very exciting. We've got I think 24 teams.
24 teams
in the AAA. And something like 14.
Well, Leslie, I can hear the wind speed increasing. It looks like it's time for the Weembi Ginto to get in there. I can see them giving themselves a bit of a pat on the back.
Oh, they're running into the tunnel. People just used to get in, but now you saw that with the solo speed that they were really running, and of course, there's
a penalty.
And they bust. And that's not nice on your first round. I mean, it's not nice any time, but first round you really want to go in and put a good, clean round on the scoreboard.
But what makes this tunnel, Leslie, special compared to a lot of other tunnels is that room they've got in the antechamber. You're really going to see a lot of these teams running in full speed, and then the exit as well. Big, powerful exits because they've got enough room to run it out before they hit the wall.
Yeah, whereas some of the tunnels, the classic Skyventure design used to be that you had a tiny antechamber that was sort of fixed around the side of the tunnel.
Yeah, you're out. You need to be caught, but you're going to smash yourself against the glass. 70.948 is the target for this local team from Weembi. 56 seconds currently on the clock. Ice Mountain Adventure Park have set that time of 70.948, just a minute and 10.
And we're coming up 69, 70, and of course these guys have a 5-second penalty as well.
Yeah.
So, and that's another one. Was that another one?
I didn't see a flash. Did you see a red one?
I thought I did.
Phantom flashes and they're out. Here they go.
That would be 83.
Just get that final time on screen. I think it was 83 and change. Let's see if we can just flash that final time up. It looks like the clock's still going. 92.
Yes, that would be the 82.34 plus two 5-second penalties.
With 2 5-second penalties.
So that's savage.
So next up, the women of steel. We've got these two great competitors here now.
Karine Joly and Magali Braff.
We saw them at Wing Games there in their free round with those beautiful masks they were wearing. Did you see those?
Ah, yes, I did.
Yeah.
It was stunning women as well as amazing flyers. And do you remember why they were called Women of Steel?
Because they've both got the same injury.
Yes, they have virtually identical pieces of steel.
Titanium.
So X-ray vision, these women look the same.
Yeah.
They
It's
have
incredible.
a very similar body shapes as well, which
They
of
do.
course makes it nice and easy to fly with each other. You know, just the same as in 8-way or in 4-way. Belly, it's easier to fly with someone who's a similar kind of size and body shape to yourself.
Well, Women of Steel, Karine Joly and Magali. I was organising with Karine at the Diani Beach Festival in December last year. Great skydiver she is, and a tunnel flying, and a great person as well. The wind speed increases, Leslie. It's the first day of action. Here we go. We've got a target of 70.948.
The women are ready.
We're ready as well. Hands on the door.
It's like,
They're
yes, and they're in. Because Karine's husband, Greg Crozier, is in another team.
He's ready to go. He's still
He's
there
ready
watching.
to go, supporting her, but competing against her.
And I think, am I right in saying their first competition, I think, was a Clash of Lions at iFly Lyon in December, was it December, November, January? January it was.
Yes, they started flying together in January this year.
And then we had their
The
competition.
Wing Games.
Wing Games was the second one in February. And here they are now in their third competition. And
So they got 19 hours of training together, which isn't a lot when you look at some of these other teams.
no, well, it's incredible.
And these women, just both amazing people in their own right. They've both taught so many people so much, brought on the free fly scene throughout Europe, and been just inspirational as well. They're the kind of women you want to be like them.
Yeah, Karine's being very prolific in the big way events, in the head hook records and the free fly events there. And Magali as well with her husband Steve posted a picture on Facebook yesterday, breaking ground on a new tunnel in Luxembourg. Out the door they go.
And they're out, and the time was 81.43.
81.436 for the girls and Women of Steel. So if you didn't catch what we were saying before, the reason they called that, they both separately had skydiving injuries and made a mess of I think it was a right leg. It's a 50-50 chance I've got this right, either the right leg or the left leg. Titanium inside for the repair, and they both got exactly the same injury caused by exactly the same landing, which is incredible really. And here they are now flying together in a team. Leslie?
Yeah, even on the same canopy.
Yeah,
So-
was it really?
Yes. I asked them to describe their team in 3 words, and they said, Women of Steel. which they are, because it's a good name, not only for the fact that they have that same injury, but for the fact they have that mettle, they have that bite, they have that world record philosophy of, we are going to make this happen.
Talking of safety, you've published a couple of good articles recently in skydivemag.com regarding safety. Because we had, what was the last one? Was that canopy formation?
The canopy, the malfunction flow chart.
Talk a bit about that a little bit later. The engine noise increases. Women of Steel have just been
Greg
through.
and Cyril are in.
Way too dynamic.
Greg, we were just talking about him, Karine's husband. They fly together, Karine and Greg, in Airwax, which is the national free fly team. And then having quite different body shapes and sizes, it's quite challenging for them to fly together. And I know it's almost relaxing for them here to fly with someone of a similar body shape and size. Although apparently Cyril made Greg lose some weight just to fly with him. So he hated Cyril, but Karine's quite happy about that.
A lot of people joining on the live feed on Facebook Live right now. Leslie, don't forget, if you're watching, make sure you share it with all your friends. Let's get everybody seeing the event here tonight. And put a little comment on there as well on the Facebook Live. We'd like to say hello to you wherever you are. Ray's watching now, Germano, Sylvie and Juliana are all watching too. It's good to have you guys there. Way too dynamic here on 59.60 seconds in their first round of the two-way here in Weembi tonight. pushing back.
Oh, and
And
they're
on the
out,
down.
and they're out,
Look
and
at the
they're-
speed
oh,
they exit.
72, so they're just not as fast as Ice Mountain on 70.9.
Well, we expect Ice
But
Mountain
still
to...
a very, very good time, and let's remember that all of these times are going to be added together from these 3 rounds. So
Yeah.
you need to be competitive every round. They might not have won that round, but that puts them in a very, very good place on the scoreboard.
It does indeed. So we saw Leslie Ice Mountain 70.948. Next up, the Ninjas. We have Matteo and Elliot. Can they snatch this first advantage on round 1 out of the hands of the Ice Mountain team? They feel confident. Elliot said he was confident. He thinks he's flying faster. He thinks his team is flying faster than Ice Mountain this week. He was head to head with a little mini competition between the two of them
Well,
during
let's
training
find out
yesterday.
if he's talking out of his proverbial derriere.
Well, here we go. They're ready there. In the door, 70.948 to beat.
They have looked very, very impressive. And Matteo just 14.
Yeah. Incredible talent. They had, I think 2 days ago, 2.5 hours of training, and Elliot gave up. He said, I'm just going to leave Matteo to it. He said, I can't continue flying all this time. And so then Matteo was doing his freestyle routine, which we don't have here at this event. But 70.948 is the target. Keep your eyes on that clock. Can they do it? Are they going to take the first blood here tonight? I must say, Leslie, watching now, it doesn't seem quite as fast as what we saw from Ice Mountain. I don't know.
They don't look quite as fast as they did in training either, but
No.
then of course I don't know. You know, it's a different draw, and
But they've had to change the technique. They've been training on the 14-foot tunnel, really pounding off the walls, bouncing off the edges. So they decided they're not doing that now. They're going for more of a controlled technique in this bigger tunnel. But 70.948 with 10 seconds left, 62 seconds. Are they going to do it? 70.948 is their target on this first round. 78, 79. Oh, they're going to do it all! Have they done it? 69.
69.810.
They've
Wow.
done it. They've stuck to the form they've been talking about. It didn't look as fast, did it, to begin with? But they have pulled it off. 70.948 Ice Mountain. Windor Ninjas come back with a 69.810 first blood.
Just pipping the 70-second mark.
Wow.
So first blood to the Ninjas, but I'm sure Ice Mountain are going to have something to say about that in the next round.
I need to clean up my writing, Leslie. Look at the state of this now, what I've been writing down, these numbers. I'm going to write them all down again a little bit so I can make more of a sense about what I've been writing.
So next up we have Weembi All Right. It'll be all right on the night.
Team from Weembi, and the second team from Weembi, isn't it? So just, actually a good full second faster they were, 69.8 against 7.9, so just over a second faster. Here is Weembi All Right.
Yeah, because sometimes these things are done one on tenths of a second, so
Yeah.
second doesn't sound that much for them to do 3 pages, but can make
Yeah.
all the difference.
Down to 100 sometimes. So this team and one more to go in our first round of two-way dynamic. It's going so fast I can't keep track of my notes, Leslie. Danny Galero's watching back in Spain. He's been watching his team there. Yes, yes, yes. He's shouting out on the Facebook Live. Good evening to everybody who's watching. Let us know who you are and where you are.
And it's, I think it was slowing down to let the other guy catch up, and then they bust. There's a bit of pointing going on. Oh, that looks strange with the timer's kind of frozen. So they're trying to reset and get back on page. And of course the clock is ticking all the time, so that kind of mistake is really painful. That's probably blown their position for tomorrow, just that mistake and the time to reset after that. That clapping we're hearing, presumably they've got some
live judging
going on of the 8 ways, so let's check in, see if we've got any scores in.
We do have some 8 ways, because we'll bring
We'll
those to you
go
in a
to
moment.
those between rounds. Yeah, we're starting to get the 8-way scores in, but we just got one more team after these guys to fly in the dynamic. And is that it? Did they get out before they finished?
I'm not sure, but we'll just leave that one. I'll tell you what, Les, it's a shame we can't just see out of the studio that screen where they're watching the live scoring. I just can't get my head around far enough to see the screen there, but never mind.
It's all right. We just got one more team to fly in the two-way dynamic. Then we got a break between the events, and then we can have a look at the eight-way scoreboard. Then, because we just got 5 minutes between the events, so I'm sure the guys are going to give us that. So the last team to fly,
the Avengers Paris from iFly Paris. I was in there as well, having a flight last week. A good 10 minutes in there.
You're
Beautiful
better than
tunnel.
I am at scamming free tunnel time, aren't you?
You just got it right place at the right time. Right place at the right time.
And the gift of the gab, that's you, Regan.
Me, Leslie, me, what?
Oh,
The Avengers Paris. Our first, how are we doing on time? We're looking at 19:39 was our scheduled time. What time is it now? It was scheduled to be at
1956, so we're about 20 minutes behind.
No problem. It is the first day.
17 minutes. I'm not quite sure what the problem was. The eight-way started bang on time.
Yeah. I think we had a
the
problem.
Dynamic.
Yeah, it could have been the timing system, or it could have been a multitude of things. Again, some scoring going on. The wind speed increases. It is the first day of action, the first evening, Friday here in Weembi in Lille, and the French National Indoor Championships 2018 with me, Regan Tetlow, and Leslie Gale. The team is in. Clock is on. Avengers Paris with their first attack. Head up, switching, head up 360 and mixed circles. So the big story so far tonight in the two-way dynamic is that Ninjas came in and blew it away by over 1 second. Fighting for that place.
As you predicted, Regan.
Yeah. Well, they've been saying they're quite confident over the training. A lot to go yet, of course. We can't make any predictions about the win just yet, but we do know it's all going to have teas out in front of our eyes. Big shout out to Romain who's watching, Martine as well, and Danny and Sylvie all watching. Chris Mayhew and Ray are watching with us as well. Good evening, Chris. 70 seconds on the clock. As this team from Paris start to finish off this final page.
We're coming to a close. The final heat
team
of round one.
Yeah, that's it. Two-way.
9.58. So
the big story right now on that two-way dynamic is Ice Mountains 70.948, but snatching it out of their hands from Windor, the Ninjas with 69.810. Leslie, I think we've got some eight-way scores.
We do indeed. We have eight-way scores, but we don't have the top two teams. The top two teams, the Weembi Girls and the Weembi Elder, have not been scored yet. But the other scores have come in. Down at the bottom, we have Lazy Functus Corbas with 11. Then we have Whitbits and Sham Pazel Clermont, both on 12. Then moving up the scoreboard on 14, we have PCP Coyotes. After them, we have After 8 with 15 points. Then VR Max with 17 X's on 16 points. A lot of teams tying on 17. We've got Fanatics, Qatar Falcons, and Veloz QRF on 17 points, with Weembi Girls and Weembi Elder 8 yet to be scored. So 3 teams in what presumably is going to be the bronze medal position.
Yeah.
Fanatics, Qatar Falcons, and Veloz QRF. So it looks as though we got a real battle on our hands for the bronze position. And in my mind, the silver and gold are going to be taken by the Weembi Girls and the Weembi 8, who are yet to be scored. So great scoring there for Veloz QRF, who are at the end of the day a tunnel team and don't have that much time together to equal Qatar's score. They're a full-time team. Of course, they've got the full-time four-way as well, but
yeah,
you know, they're full-time skydivers. That said, it's just round one and anything could happen. And as I remember, the Falcons had a little bit of a problem on the close of one of their 9s.
Yeah.
Wasted a bit of time, so I think that they're probably going to pull away after this. But we'll see.
Well, if you just joined us, a very good evening and welcome. Leslie Gale, me, Regan Tetlow, in the studio here in Weembi in Lille with the Indoor Championships 2018. Stay with us, it's a quite short show tonight. We're here for 7, 8, 9, just about 3 hours. Started at 7 p.m. We should be here till, well, actually before 9:30.
Probably about
2.5 hours. So stick around with us. 3 rounds of competition in the 8-way and the 2-way dynamic. We've seen the 1 round of 8-way. We've got the 2nd round about to start. Leslie, what's the draw here? 13-2M for round 2. That's what we're looking for.
That's pretty straight up. 13 is satellite. 2 is Swiss bear, and M is a random. So there's no way you swap anybody unless you do something stupid.
Well,
you'll start and end up the block in the same point.
The first team are getting into the tunnel now. This team
so,
from
but
Britain.
it's quite long blocks. 13, which is what they're just doing now. You've got to spin those cats and re-drop them, so that's always going to take a certain amount of time. Now they're going into the 2, which is these 2 compresses, joined with some out faces. They've got to spin those 260 and dock. So this is never going to be a burner this round. But it's what you call a working jump, good solid round. And they got off to a good solid start. Project Ride the Dragon, the British team, the only British team here. Actually the only British team in all of the competition. So great to see them popping over from the UK. Now they made the journey harder than they had to by taking the ferry. They said yes, they're going to do the Eurostar next time. It is more expensive, but it's worth it. You just have to book early.
Right.
That's a nice 13 they've got. And your 13. Now normally other singletons turn on the 13. Now I had the impression that 2 guys are supposed to turn on the 13, but none of them are actually turning. Only the cats are turning, so I don't know what's going on with that.
Bit of a meltdown or a bit of miscommunication, or?
Presumably that's the way they're doing the block here. But I've not seen that before because all of the singletons, normally 2 of the singletons turn and the other 2 don't in the tunnel.
Right.
But that one, none of them were turning. So either they've redone the pool or else they're going to get a big fat 0. But presumably with Marco coaching them, and he's in about 17 teams, then presumably that is correct.
So 14 teams in total in the 8-way here this weekend. 1 team down already, and the next team is in.
And this is Chamatzi Air Clermont, a French team. So there we have the 2. Now we're going to go to the M. And back to the 13. And there seems to be some confusion about whether or not the singletons are turning. Nice 2, a nice M. And so the 13. So here we have the outside people are turning, but not the inside. But the other one, the guys weren't turning at all. What's up with that? So here you see outside guys are turning, inside guys are staying where they are. Now I've seen that block done the other way around where the inside guys turn and the outside guys don't turn. But the only aim with changing the block from outside to inside is just so we don't get too much carnage in the tunnel and so that everybody has enough space.
Do some of the blocks change for the tunnel?
Just to get them into the tunnel. There's some blocks they can't do at all. 14 doesn't fit in the tunnel. That's open accordion stair-step diamond. It's just too big, even for this massive tunnel. And block 20, long diamond, long cat diamond is just too long to go in the tunnel. And others of them, like say block 21, normally you have 3 pieces turning, but with block 21, one of the pieces stays still in the tunnel. It's just the mechanics of getting this, adjusting the dive pool so it will fit in this small piece of space.
Well, next in, Whitby's are their 2nd round. 13-2M.
Whitbits, they got very strong bonds of friendship in their team, they said. They got about 150 jumps together, 30 hours, and a very nice vibe in the team. One thing, Johan's their coach, And Johan is a professional coach in his business life. He coaches business people. And one of the things he's really, really good at is getting teams to bond, getting them to work together, to stop sort of coming with that blame culture and start with a, well, what can we do to fix this? And I think, you know, maybe we can work on this. It doesn't feel quite right to me, that, you know, that kind of approach. This is what he brings to companies to you know, get their marketing team or their, you know, telecommunications team or whatever, just to get them working better as a team. And with 8-Way, the challenge is always to get those 8 individuals or 9 individuals by the time you add a camera to work together.
Right.
Far, far more than the technical side, and that's where Johan really excels. That's where he did such great work with Project Ride, the Dragon. He's now passed them on to Marco for the sort of higher level technical things, but the thing you really need to get that 8-Way team to stick together and to work as a team is to get that ongoing communication.
Well, the PCP Coyotes, JCM, what quite a mouthful of a team. They're in, they're ready to go. Here we go, Leslie.
And these team, their motto is "Who dares wins," coached by the General Martial Ferre, who is always inspired by the great Napoleon, yes. And he always brings the sort of the war mentality to it with some great phrases there.
He does indeed. I've load organised with him, and he's been telling me about, you know, being one of his soldiers and.
Yes, that's totally how he sees it. You know, it's a battle. There are no second places in war. You know, it's just all about the winning. Martial, what a character, what this guy has given to the sport. So many years for an 8-Way national champion.
Yeah.
And you're now just continuing spreading the poetry that is 8-Way to so many people.
And look at his energy, he's full on energy. We can see him where we are here. We're very fortunate to be right by the side of the tunnel.
Just keys with his whole body.
Yeah, very dynamic French style, isn't it? Right after this, we're going into the second round of the 2-Way dynamic. 14 teams of 8-Way for you. We've had 4 already in the round 2. Then we're into the second round of the 2-Way dynamic, and 3 rounds in total of the event here for you tonight in the first day of the French Indoor Championships with me, Rigantello, and Leslie Gale.
And here we have Team 806 Monaco getting into the tunnel. Oh, no, I'm sorry, we have Fanatics.
Yes.
I'm getting ahead of myself there. I was all excited.
It's going to be interesting to see if Monaco are flying as high as they were last time.
Yeah,
58% is on the board right now for the, and that's what Monaco were at last time. They're at 58%, but they were halfway up the window.
Yes, you don't want to be down there scrabbling on the neck like bottom feeders, but you don't really want to be up there at the 10-foot mark either.
No, you don't. No.
Maybe someone told them about the dynamic holes. They think they got to fly above.
Maybe.
Excuse me.
How do you pronounce his name?
Fanatics? Fanatics, if we are in France.
For me, one of the best 8-Way team names going back a few years was always XLR8. I thought it was a great, very clever name.
I'm tempted to say something about Octopussy, but we'll move on.
Okay.
It does lend itself to a lot of nice team names, though, doesn't it?
Time up for that team. A little bit of backflying going on there just to grab an extra second of fun. Out the door they go. And now let's see Monaco.
Now we have Monaco.
Yeah, they are going to be
their characteristic red helmets.
58%, just like they were on round 1. Are they bringing it down a little bit?
Yep, they're starting a bit lower. Of course, sometimes
but they're raising
just
up
get
again
the wind and you're off.
Yeah.
So although Monaco, these guys have been around for such a long time, they now have 2 new guys on the team, and this particular lineup doesn't have any flying time together before this competition. So it's a bit of a set the scene where they're at. The young guys are blown away though. I was talking to them before, Nico and Kilian.
Yeah.
They are absolutely loving being on this team with such a great depth of 8-Way knowledge.
Big shout out to Carol's watching, Carol Milner, Martin Dedrick's watching, Sylvie's watching, and Casey Pruitt as well. Thanks for joining us here tonight from Lille in France. It is the Indoor 2018 Championships, and the 8-way round 2 is currently in the Chute, 14 teams in total, and then it's back to the action with a 2-way dynamic. They're getting even higher here.
They are.
Watch that. Bit of a
You're
wave
getting
going
quite a bent cat in the middle of that 13. You want
Yeah.
to end up with a straight cat, or the singletons have too far to go. But nice block 2.
All right,
So that's it for Monaco.
yeah. Have a quick flick at your scores there. Is there any more of those top 2 teams come through yet?
Yes. So yes,
On the first round of 8-way?
First round. Wow. So if you remember, we had 3 teams on 17. We had
Yes.
the Fanatics Qatar Tigers and Veloz QRF. Well, now, well ahead of them are the Weembi girls with 21.
Oh yes.
Are they in the lead, defending their title? No. The Weembi elders, les anciens, we could call them, have 23 points.
Brilliant technique from Leslie there, building up the tension with the second and the first. That's how it's done, girl. High five for you. 23, first team.
That said, I don't know if Weembi elders are going to take the title because they're down as a guest team. I presume G is means here as a guest team.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
So presumably that means if they won, they would in fact let the Weembi girls go to the Whisk in Bahrain.
Yeah.
So in the tunnel now we have the Max. This is another one of Martial's team. You can see the green helmet and the
Can't miss him.
crazy French keys.
Look at him go. Look at the. Have you seen him on that block move? Just watch him when it comes round again. Wow. He flies. He just explodes around the tunnel.
Yeah, it's all about the guys in the middle on the twos.
Look at him there. Wow.
Yeah, he coached our team a lot, Martial. He coached Richix. And then flying in the tunnel with him, for some reason I ended up as his peace partner, and whew, that man can fly. You suddenly find that you're doubling your own acceleration because you just have to try and keep up.
Yeah.
And it's surprising how fast you can go when someone like that is pushing you.
All right, it's time for the Lazy Functors Corbus in Flunua.
You're going to have that down to a T by the time we're finished, aren't we?
I'm working
the
on it.
Lazy Functors. Someone is having a laugh with that name, aren't they?
Yeah. Team 808. Halfway through the pack already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more teams. These top teams as well. These top 3 with their second round scores. We're going to see how interesting that is, Leslie, and it's going to mess things up a little bit. Just tell me a bit about that third place at the moment, how it stands.
Well, at the moment, it's anybody's game between Veloz QRF, the Qatar Tigers, and Qatar Falcons. And well, they used to be the Tigers. Why are they the Qatar Falcons now?
I think to discriminate between the 4 and the 8-way.
And Fanatics.
Yeah. So what's the points then on that?
17, 17, 17.
So they're all on the same.
Yeah, all on that. And then just behind them are VR Max on 16. And after 8, Insomniacs on 15. So I would say nobody can call it for bronze place.
Yeah, at the moment it's wide open.
That is the one where all the fighting is going to be going on for.
So we'll keep an eye on
straight
those
away,
teams.
you see 21, 23. So many points clear of the rest of them. I'm sure that Weembi girls and Weembi Ancien, I'm going to call them rather than elders, that they are going to be well ahead of the rest, and the pack are going to be fighting for the bronze medal.
So after 8 are in now.
These are the team that are normally coached by Sylvie and Christian. They're flying now with Bruno and Jeremy, that they don't normally fly with, who of course are both champions in their own right. But with 8-way, it's all about getting the right speed as a team. When you fly your 4 2-way pieces, they all got to fall at the same speed.
Yeah.
So you don't end up with a big height difference. And that's where changing 2 members, however awesome they may be, it can make a massive difference. a bit of confusion there. One of the girls was trying to go onto the wrong person on the cat. Just incredible to see how many blocks we can now do in the tunnel. When Richix started in 2010, when we started training, and we went over to Paraclete, we're trained by Kirk Werner, and he did virtually all the blocks with the tunnel with us. Then we came back to the UK, picked up Stumpy, who's been national 8-way champion for the last 10 years. We picked him up just to fill in for us for some tunnel sessions. He couldn't believe the blocks that we were flying. He flew about more than 10 blocks that he'd never ever flown in the tunnel. And some of you saying, no, surely not, surely not, surely not.
So what changed with the technique to allow that?
I think just people going, let's do it.
Yeah, give it a go.
Yes. The big thing that changed was having the big tunnels.
Yes.
When there was only the 16-foot tunnel in Bedford, then no one really knew that you could do that much 8-way in the tunnel. It just seemed like too much of a squash putting it in.
Well,
once you've got a tunnel there to play with, give Kirk Werner a 16-foot tunnel, he's going to try and do some 8-way in it.
Yeah, what a legend.
Multiple 8 and 4-way world champion. Of course he's going to give it a go. And then who dares wins.
So the Insomniacs Weembi are in the tunnel right now, about to finish there. Round 2. 4 more teams to go here in this.
These are also trained by Weembi. Not that many hours flying together. They're just barely getting to know the blocks, but it's a really good fun team. Radia was saying, Radia's one of my little favorites. She's doing the European women's record with us this year.
Yeah.
She did all the British.
How many people have you got now for that record?
Well, we got 101 we have sort of signed up. We're looking for 120, so 19 women out there.
If they're watching.
If you're watching, get in touch. We could follow it up with the applications we have, but we're holding out for the real top ladies.
You want the best talent, don't you?
We want the best talent.
It's not a training camp. It's
not a training camp.
No.
This is real.
Yeah.
We are mean business. We are there to set a record. So this is for Lost QRF, getting into the channel. These are one of the guys in equal bronze position with Martial.
Look at him go. Look at him go there.
Keying there like a man with Parkinson's. And what's different about that 13 in the tunnel is you see the individual. Oh, nice catch,
nice
Henning.
catch.
Did you see him catch that on
the booty?
Good job. Henning, national champion for Germany for goodness knows how many years. Also Petra in there.
Incredible levels going on here.
Yes, I was saying that the difference in 8-way is that the 4-ways back off to give the cat space. You never have to do that in the sky. The challenge in the sky is to keep close.
Yes.
But here you actively want to give the cats room. 8-way in the tunnel is a lot about managing the room. Point quite often just sticks their nose up against the glass and tries to be as small as possible. Meanwhile, tail, we've got Maria down the bottom. She's doing a Spider Woman thing of, climbing with her legs on the wall. It's just what you got to do is manage the space. Because yes, it's a massive tunnel, but 8 people take up a lot of room.
Yeah.
Here we have the Qatar Falcons, also equally in bronze medal position, in 3rd position with 17 points. These guys will be looking to get a podium. They're not going to be happy with less than that. Professional team. Of course, they want to beat these other teams that are more tunnel teams that are vying with them for the bronze medal.
Big shout out to Orien who's watching, Cedric as well, and Jan and David van der Wel who's just tuned it in as well onto the live feed. If you just joined us,
Davey?
Yeah, it's a first.
He's watching his wife Heidi.
Yeah.
Who is here in team Whitbits, I think. Whitbits as opposed to Fitbits. I've just worked it out. So I'm quick, I am.
Oh, well done. If you're wondering what you're watching, if you've not seen this before, it's an indoor skydiving event, and we've got different types of flying, different types of disciplines for you. This is 8-way formation flying. Just a quick recap, Leslie. It's 50 seconds, with these drawn formations as many times as possible,
That's right.
over 10 rounds.
That's right. This particular sequence, it's 2 blocks and a random, so that's 5 points in the sequence, 13 to M. And we are down to the final 2 teams. So this is the Weembi girls, who won last year.
An absolute world-class view of 8-way for you right now. This is a treat to see.
I just love watching this team. Weembi elders might be going a little bit faster, but this team is just poetry in motion. Yes, I'm standing up just to have a look at it. Great keys, great communication. I love the way they're building that too. Barely any looking behind them going on. They're so confident.
Yeah.
Lovely technique there with the girls on the 13 hooking the leg of the cat as it comes round. That's what you're supposed to be doing, but not all of the teams are doing it. You see it's going to come up here. They hook that leg and help to feed the cat into the center. More applicable in the air than in the sky, because sometimes you really got to be acting as a brake there. Very, very calm.
It is. There's not a lot of energy there, is it?
Yeah. And that's the thing, you know, with 8-way, we all know that the idea is to keep the moves small, slow is faster and all that, be efficient, blah, blah, blah. But it applies so much more in 8-way as in 4-way.
Right, well now with these this team, are we going to see slow is fast here, or are we going to see full out going for it? Yeah, because there's a lot of energy in this team to be seen right now. Here we go. Look at Martial.
How many teams is Martial
I think he's in 5 8-way teams and a 4-way team as well. I think. I might be wrong. We'll find out later, but it is a lot.
Well, I think he's cheating. He's getting too much airtime. Oh my word! Just has a bit of a land on Julien there, a bit of a fracas. But of course, it doesn't stop the man. He's a little robot. Yep, pouncing. Not doing, you see the textbook thing, how the girls are picking up the leg. No, he's just spinning like a top and grabbing the leg at the end of it. But it works for him. See, that's what he does. He teaches the textbook thing of getting your leg, but then when he's doing it, he just goes for full balls on speed. There he goes, balls on speed. See, no chance of hooking the leg. Very dynamic too.
Wow, incredible.
Sometimes I think Martial goes a bit further up and down than is absolutely necessary because he just likes the show. And I can't believe how fast that round of 8-way went. That's it.
It was incredible.
Round 2 of 8-way of the French Indoor National Championships is over. We have one more round of 8-way to go tonight, which will be in a little while.
We're back here in the studio with the round 2 of the 2-way dynamic. It's fast flying action here at Weembi in Lille for the 2018 Indoor Championships with Leslie and with me with 2-way dynamic in 2 minutes. Don't go away. And a very warm welcome back to Weembi and Lille, and it's the first day of the 2018 Indoor Championships with Leslie and me, Regan. We've just had 2 rounds of 8-way, we've had 1 round of 2-way dynamic, and now we're going to bring you the second round of 2-way in a few moments' time. But Leslie, you've got some scores for us.
I believe we do have some scores. That's not the scores, guys, that's actually the draw, but I will give you the scores. They've scored everyone apart from the Ninja Windows. The Ninja Windows, they are reviewing their first round just to see, because Window Ninjas won the first round according to what we think, but they're just reviewing that at the moment. I'm going to go through the scores in a moment, but we've got the Dynamic live and they've just bust. This is Team Ericart, they've just bust. This is Order Dimini and Julien Mancio in the tunnel right now. Team Ericart, and they were about in the middle of the pack in the first round, scoring 81.574 seconds, and just into their first round, their second round, and they bust, so they're not going to be super happy with that. What's the draw for this round, Regan?
We've got a head down snake, we've got a butterfly, and reverse mixed circles.
So is that the reverse mixed circles they're doing now?
Here we go with a head down snake.
Head down snake.
Second page.
Are they still snaking, or are we now?
No,
this is the
butterfly and into the reverse mixed circles.
So that's the bottom of the page,
yeah,
and we're now back into
3.
the snake.
Down snake. And
And
out
they're
we go.
out. And the time's 79.631.
So we've got
So the raw time of 74.631 plus the 5-second bust.
79.631, the first time on the scoreboard there for round 2 of the 2-way dynamic. Team Ericart get us underway. Aerogravity are going to be next. Just to remind you what we've got going on here.